Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Disco Elysium, where last time we finally found a refrigerator large enough to fit a corpse in, and we also found a bullet lodged in his head that possibly is the real reason why he died. But right now we're kind of in the middle of a crisis in that we don't have enough money to afford a room at the motel hotel. So we're trying to find money. we have sold everything we could sell. We have $93. We need another $37 in order to have a room for the night. Now, our boy Kim here has graciously asked us, or not asked us, but offered to give us some hubcaps, some spinning hubcaps that he's very happy to have, in order for us to have the money to pay for said room. However, we want to try to avoid using because he seemed kind of sad that he had to give him up. So we have until 2 a.m. to find $40 in this city. So I don't know. I'll do whatever it takes, and even go check the trash. Fingerless gloves, electrochemistry. Well, that's definitely what we are going to be wearing. Our current gloves gives us +1 interfacing, but this is our jam, right? Electrochemistry. That is our jam. So we're taking that. Water lock out of order until Wednesday, 7:15 a.m.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
We're not going to do that right now. It doesn't look like that's going to get us any money, so let's not do it. I need money. Need to get some money. Hold on. What's that? Is that money? Something I could sell? It's drugs, healing items. Got a lot of healing items. That's good. An ancient fountain. It doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. It's kind of cool. Tire tracks lead onto the roof. The slush and rain has almost washed them off. Some great tectonic force has cracked the pavement like an eggshell. Okay. Need money. No benches. Nothing like that. Nothing but money. I'm not even gonna look at these things. I'm looking for money. Anybody got any money? Alright, looks like this might be the end of the road on this side. It's not looking good for our money prospects. Let's go this way. Oop. Stop between those trucks down there. Smokes, go get them. -1 health, but +1 intellect. Tools. Smokes.
There it is. A brave little army in your pocket. The 1st Smokes platoon. 20 brave souls standing in salute, ready to step into fire for you, sir.
Pull one out of the pack.
You picked the best one.
I sure did.
This soldier is fat and succulent.
Mm-hmm.
What are you waiting for? Light up. Re-become yourself.
Light it up.
Get a load of this rock and roll cop hair, people.
Hell yeah.
Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of the thumb, there's fire. A primal satisfaction. Here we go. The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off.
Hell yeah. What are the repercussions if I do this? I don't care. Dip that bad boy in the flame and breathe in.
Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself. The man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls.
Hell yeah, chill as balls. Got a lot of experience and we leveled up.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a cigarettes button. Cigarettes gives +1 to intellect skills. Logic, rhetoric, conceptualization, visual calculus, encyclopedia, and drama. This is good before a white check, but damages your health.
Understood. Level up here. Okay. What do we want to put our skills in here? Electrochemistry is 9. I think we're okay on electrochemistry for a while. Maybe more on composure. Yeah, let's put another one in composure. I like that. We're composed when we need to be. Alright, money. I need money. Can anybody out there give me some money? I'll do anything. A bold slogan. Human Knox covers the truck.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Interesting monument. Who is this?
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
What indentations? What do I see?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. Bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Lieutenant, has someone shot the king? Point to the indentation.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
What do you think?
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
Yeah, it's a practical joke. Target practice. Political. It's a king, and he's shot. Maybe it's connected to the murder. Maybe it is. We can't rule it out, right?
If we connect every bullet hole in Martinez to the murder, we'll get an overwhelming amount of loose threads. But then again, our guy was shot, and that hole would be recent.
Yeah?
It's not completely tangential, at least worth noting down. I wouldn't hold my breath, though.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
What did this king do? Do I know?
What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago.
That's true.
How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago?
Good point, voice in my head.
High above you, the king stands.
Okay. Ooh, what's this? Money? Something I could sell for like 40 gold? A white tank top. Physical instrument. My current one is +1 drama. I think we'd rather have the white tank top. I put that on. There we go. Now we're looking hot. Everybody knows a white tank top on a middle-aged man with a hairy chest is perfect. I didn't actually read that. Damn it. I'm dumb. This might have loot in it. 75 cents. Look at that, getting closer. Only $36 now. Hey, buddy, you have money?
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and There is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma? I'll come back here. This seems like maybe where I'd go if I can't get a room. I just remembered something we were going to check out in the previous episode, and that was we were going to try and figure out the curse, and maybe we get a nice payday from the bookstore. So let's go ahead and get over there and do that real quick before the night's over. Hopefully we can do it tonight still. We've only got 3 hours left. I think if it turns to 1 o'clock, we're gonna just have to take the hubcaps. Where's my flashlight? There we go. Now I can see. Is the refrigerator? Yeah, that's the furnace. Okay. Up we go. Here we go. It's looking like we're probably gonna have to take the hubcaps though, or sleep outside. Which I think maybe we'll sleep outside instead. I don't know. What would Kim like more? Okay, so there's a person in here. This tray is full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. That's a cool system. Hey.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Hold on. What do you mean by, Milius?
Yes, Amelia is like a
Millie.
call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She passed the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
This should be like a dream in real life. This would be perfect. I'd love it.
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
Sure, I like role-playing games, and I need some dice. Maybe I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly. No, I was looking for something else. Squint your eyes mysteriously. Answers. I'm not interested in buying dice right now. I'm a police officer, and I need to ask some questions. I was looking for something else. Answers.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
How'd you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here.
It's true.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then, the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
She stops to try and come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off your work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see. Thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
I'd like to order some dice.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Do you know the Whirl Untethered setting? I want a die for that. Do you have any cursed dice? Tell me about your most extraordinary dice. Or die. I'm sorry, I don't actually know what die I want. Just a normal die for me, please. Very regular. I'm looking for something to help with my work. Actually, I need more time to think about it. Do you have any cursed dice?
What do you mean by cursed?
As cursed as this commercial area, as cursed as my life. Abra perished like this world. As cursed as this commercial area.
All right. How about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
It's a deal.
Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
The lieutenant looks around the spacious room, its ceiling faded into shadows above.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Wait, how do you explain what happened to all those companies then? Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that this place is swarming with malicious energies. How do you explain the other companies?
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
Plaisance is the one who sent me.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. The curse is just biding its time before it strikes again. Sooner or later, everyone will fail, even her. I don't know why the bookstore hasn't gone bankrupt yet. That's what I'm here to investigate. Yeah, she has to exploit her own daughter.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the Whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on. The Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area? Yes, but it's still a separate building. The malicious energies can't reach there. No, the Whirling isn't doing well either. Its waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying bills. You're right, the Whirling doesn't look like it's cursed. Yeah, customers have trouble paying their bills there.
And then there is me.
Looking at her messy work table, all kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demon.
Oh shit. Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it, a malignant entity. It's because you're competent and dedicated to your craft. The curse doesn't affect people like you. The curse will get to you, have no doubt about it. It just doesn't care about earthly time frames. I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse. Plaisance thinks you are the source.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I think it still might be you that's causing this. I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations. Honestly, I'm still not sure. This world is a puzzling place. I think it still might be you that's causing this. Narrow your eyes very mysteriously.
So I'm the Grand Dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim?
I yelled to summon the ghost of the doomed commercial area, and you were the one who answered. There is something ghostly about you, ethereal even. You're the last man standing. You must be responsible. I don't have time for explanations, not amidst all those visions I'm getting. I yelled to summon the ghost, and you answered.
Oh my, I've revealed myself. You better call the exorcists.
I don't have time to call anyone. I'm a ghost whisperer myself. It's not my job to intervene in matters supernatural. For I'm merely a police officer.
Of course. How convenient. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
She turns back to her work.
Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation. The bookstore closes starting 2100.
No!
You'll have to do that tomorrow.
Damn it. Why hasn't her business failed? Come on.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Start taking off your clothes. You need to connect.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
The dice maker stares at you while you start to fuss with your pants.
Officer,
The zipper. It's stuck. Is it just me or is it hot in here? I'm trying to lower my body temperature. It's part of this special technique I have. Never mind. That's a terrible idea. I'm trying to lower my body temperature.
And why would you do that?
It's part of this special technique I have.
And what technique is that?
She squints at you, a little astonished at what she's hearing. You still haven't gotten your zipper open. Okay, hear me out. Sometimes I get these feelings.
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering from an unusual medical episode.
No, Kim!
Officer, this isn't how mature adults deal with their feelings.
Now you feel something. The cold damp of shame washing over you.
No, not like that. It's like I can feel wind or, I don't know, the air pressure. And then the air tells me things.
The air pressure told you to take your pants off in my studio?
No, I'm not explaining this very well.
Can you please employ this special technique somewhere else? I work here and my work requires concentration. Half-naked people don't help with that.
She turns away so that you can zip your pants up again. Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded. I would never let anyone androgynous touch my hair, not even if my life depended on it. I guess I'm a simple man. I don't really have any opinion on hairstyles. I don't really have. Look at my hair.
Me neither. I just want it off my face.
She tucks a strand of hair under her headscarf. What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym. It was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who was Artemitep?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
You don't know Kuno? He's sort of the king around here. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies. Indeed, who is Kuno? Your guess is as good as mine. He's sort of the king around here.
Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window, her face reflecting back in the dark.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
How did that community project work out? Judging from the kids I've met so far, it didn't really work out, did it? Yeah, it didn't work out, did it?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Ooh.
You should have known it.
I should have.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Cool. Very cool about the debris. But what's a snuff milieu? It's a shame about those windows. I'm not even going to ask about that milieu. Yeah, what is it?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
What does she mean, to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Okay.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Then she lets the thought go. Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Oh.
But what drugs exactly?
I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report.
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals.
Ooh.
I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful.
Oh, sounds great.
Even you can probably do better than that.
I found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights activists? What in the name of...
The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
They got what they deserved. Making clothes out of beetle wings is a terrible idea. But insects don't have any brains or feelings.
Actually, insects do have brains. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Wow.
Anything
They shut
else?
you down. What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
Oh my. She rests her chin on her hands with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Interesting. What do these transmissions say? That's illegal, running off with company's money like that. Why hasn't he been arrested?
Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around.
Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long.
I found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind the curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism.
Yeah,
You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on.
true.
In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important.
Yes, it is.
Showing up to work on time is hard.
Yes, it is.
No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
Yeah. Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great. You're right. They should have just tried harder. They had everything needed to succeed. Yeah, showing up is hard.
And so is producing something extraordinary.
Her eyes wandered to the shelves full of dye prototypes and discarded models.
Anything else?
There was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Alright, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
She leans back, disapproving.
Fritta does the same thing.
Sure does. I know a girl just like that. She works in Frita as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly. What do they expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all. That's an award-winning idea. How else do you choose people around you? I don't have an opinion on employing teens. I just want to know, did it work out for their business? I know a girl like that.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing thumbs into her temples, trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator.
I don't know, that sounds kind of awesome.
To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted.
Oh, really? Well, I'm glad we didn't keep the body in there for long.
Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Caramel sundaes. It's just the it's the market doing its job. I'm sure the bear was doing its best. The bear was scary. Every time I saw that bear, I felt scared, like it could become alive any moment now. It's the market doing its job.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made the bear definitely wasn't doing his job. I mean,
How come?
he said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Scary, but cool.
Very cool. But I don't want to hear about bears anymore. Let's move on. Megatherion?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Ooh.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
I do drugs. I've got a vision beast myself.
Do you? Well, good luck keeping it under control. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad, finishing the story.
The temperature has dropped in the cover of the night. You see frost on the windows.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
So you're telling me that the doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I was wondering about the whirling in rags. Is it part of the same building complex?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom. Albeit, I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
I saw a name, East Delta Pinball, on the doorbell.
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick-track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
I like pinball. A strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream SCA. Someone answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years.
She looks like she doesn't really believe you.
Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
First, it wasn't Plaisance. I know her and would have recognized her voice.
Oh, right. But did this person say anything?
She still sounds skeptical. She said she was from Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics?
There's a moment before she recognizes the name.
It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kid playing a prank on you?
No, it was something else. It was eerie. Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
You're right. I probably just got made fun of.
Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
I have a few more questions about the building.
Sure, I'm listening.
More questions about the intercom?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Sure, I'm listening.
I had other questions.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
I had more
What
questions.
else? I'm listening.
I had other questions.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
All right.
What else?
Well,
Hobocop.
hell yeah.
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old L'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers? To Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Aramakan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last.
Bonuses. Reveals extra special collector's edition tear bottles on the map. More money from selling tear. Learning cap for shivers. Raised to 6. Alright, well, we are now a hobo cop. Lucky us. And that's all we can learn right now, right? I thought we could learn White Morning. Can we not learn that anymore? I guess not. Okay, well. Nothing else here? No? Okay, well. I guess we're selling the hubcaps. There's actually something I want to do real quick. Just want to go take a look down here. Oh, I was wondering if there were drugs in the bag there. There are not. The taxidermist also had rumors of drugs. No, I was just thinking, it doesn't look like anything new has popped up. Last thing I want to do is I want to disconnect the refrigerator. I don't know if she's paying for the electricity here, but she might be, which might be affecting her overall profits. I'm just gonna disconnect that.
Only the red cable is plugged. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
And that means this is turned off, right? Yep, no longer has red eyes.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting.
Okay. Alright. It is now midnight. Last thing we can do is go talk to that old lady. Do we want to sleep in a room, or we are a hobo cop now, so I guess we wouldn't mind sleeping on the streets. Yeah, I don't want to take his hubcaps. So let's go see if we can't get this old lady to give us a room or something. Hello. I'm back.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. No, this one is a monster in disguise.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to ask you some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Snap your fingers in front of her face.
Wait,
The lieutenant stops you before you can snap.
she's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Why?
Why? I just told you why.
If you say so. Alright, well. Never mind, I guess we're not sleeping there. Alright, well, let's go get the hubcaps. Just double checking some areas here. No, okay. Well, I'm sorry, Kim. I tried my best to find some money, but I couldn't find a bag to get bottles either. I don't have a bag, do I? No. Although we didn't interact with these. I don't think we're gonna get money from these, though. Alright.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
I have something here we could sell.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage.
Wait. Oh, right here. Okay, I don't.
The back of the motor carriage looks rough.
I confiscated this for a little while back.
I appreciate it.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Thanks, Kim. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, I'm such a mess. Hopefully this place is still open. There we go. We should have plenty of time now, though. We have to look in
If you
here.
don't mind, please put the flashlight away.
Oh, sorry
Some
about that.
of us have photonic sensitivities. I do appreciate it.
Oh, I actually have to go in here and put it away. Okay. Fair enough. We didn't look at this stuff.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hyundal burning.
Sniff the t-shirt.
Smells like worn cotton, and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay. But please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're not going to buy.
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions? What is he talking about?
That's a rad man from Helmdall t-shirt you've got there.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just pure exemplar.
You must be a serious man from Helmdall fan.
A fan? No, I wouldn't go that far. But I do think the Hjálmdalaman saga is an integral part of our shared reality. Most people don't think that the man from Hjálmdal really existed.
What do you mean?
But they're wrong.
You think he's real?
I mean, even if the man from Hjálmdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really.
Okay.
He sounds incredulous.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hjálmdal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique, energetic tides there.
Very, very unique energies indeed.
How much are you
Geomagnetic ley lines, one might even say.
selling this t-shirt for?
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
Can you just give it to me for free then?
But why?
Because I'm a broke cop without a cent to his name. Perhaps I could repay you in some other way. I guess I can't really think of any because I'm a broke cop.
I sympathize, I do. But this is a for-profit enterprise.
Not yet. I mean, let's not sell our or use our money before we get a room.
Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the streetlight.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
Is that a streetlight?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
He leans in so that the pawnbroker doesn't hear him.
You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
He pauses, studying the light. How much for the streetlight?
700 real.
Oh my god.
A bargain, I dare say.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
Are you out of your mind? There's one just like that on every corner. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep. 700 sounds about right, I imagine. It wasn't easy sawing off that streetlight. Seems a bit steep.
There's also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Nothing else I need to know about that.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand on the tips of your toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on
Ooh.
top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Shopkeep, the Stereo 8 approved machine here.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Could this device come in handy in my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Are you sure it's in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech. Found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music.
He grimaces. That's all. One more thing to check out.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
Win her back.
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
Inspect the knights on horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Point at the knights on horseback. Who are they?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago.
Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
Inspect the figurines in rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
The contrast is meant to be disheartening, as it ought to be. It is impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. Ask my friend Gart, whose bitch it made me. I wish it was more nuanced. As it stands, I cannot comment. It's meant to give people hope. Even we can do it.
Maybe.
Dig up a truly cool figurine.
Everything
No!
in the big house seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just broken toys.
Damn. Well, I'm sure we'll come back here eventually.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Care to share your pyrohelidon with me?
Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved.
What a good friend.
Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care.
I ride the pyro every day.
Every day. You look the part.
He does his head studying you, then nods.
Here you go, man.
He presents a large cap-shaped object on the palm of his hand. Very odd-looking.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Straight into your gut.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
He looks down. You might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day.
Sure. Know anything about the Wild Pines representatives that's in town?
Can't say I'm a huge admirer of Wild Pines. And I can't say I trust any silver-tongued spokesperson of theirs. Fortunately, I have no reason to get involved.
What do you have against Wild Pines?
What should I have for it?
Have you met the Wild Pines rep?
No, just people like that make everyone else see the world somewhat askew, at an angle that is convenient for them. Now, you have more questions, or are we?
Have you had any dealings with the union boss?
He's been by the shop a couple of times.
He gives a lazy half shrug.
There was something awfully deliberate about that laziness.
Why do I feel like you don't want to talk about him? Are you hiding something? Did he discuss union business with you? Did he buy anything? I have other questions. Are you hiding something?
They weren't the most pleasant interactions. Small town bigwigs always want everyone to play a part in the play they're staging. But I bowed out at some point. I prefer to watch from afar while the bigwigs come and go.
Did he discuss union business with you?
He tried. wanted to come to some mutually beneficial agreement around my dealings with the dock workers. I politely declined to hear him out.
So you don't know what kind of arrangement he was talking about?
The lieutenant studies the pawnbroker suspiciously.
As I said, I refused to talk to him. That's why he came back a second time. That's also why he hasn't come back a third.
Did he buy anything?
He purchased a remarkably garish paperweight the first time he was here. Nothing the second.
I have other questions.
He nods reluctantly.
That's all I've got.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by officers of the citizen militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question.
Really?
I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
What? Soul?
Cam, you didn't hear that.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
Wait, I sold you my gun?
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
That's probably true.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off-the-charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman. Although she kept referring to herself as a pig. Which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Probably not the kind of person you want to sell a gun to, buddy.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
There's only one explanation. She must be one of my rabid fans. Maybe she's a vigilante who wants to prove she can do our jobs better than we can. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizens' militia? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I sold my gun. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also keeping our focus on the murder investigation.
Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Now let's talk about something else.
Of course. Sure thing. Sure, man.
Okay. I'd like to sell.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump-a-mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
The lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash.
Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you.
He takes the cash, then turns to you.
Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest goes in his pocket.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
No.
Another time, Pat.
Okay. Before we go, I want to buy...
The boomboxes wait on the shelves.
Want to buy that?
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
Which is right here. Equip this to play tapes. Okay. Cool. And I also want to buy that shirt. Just buying everything now.
What a shirt.
Welcome to Hyundai.
Awesome. And that shirt gives us what? +1 physical instrument. +1 shivers. -2 authority. So I don't actually want to wear it because I like our authority. Okay. Well, let's go pay for our room. And we have quite a bit of money now. Thank you, Kim. Sorry about your hubcaps. I'll pay you back somehow, buddy. It's getting late. We need to get in here, get some sleep. Take a bath. Clean up. Clean up our act. We were once a great detective. Look at us now.
Can I help you?
About the money.
Yes. Have you got
I have
it?
your money.
Well,
Sorry for your trouble.
great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Good. He takes out his keychain and fiddles with the mechanism behind the counter.
Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
It's not bad.
I'll take a room here too.
He opens his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Goodbye. New level. Okay. What do we want to get up for that? I want to get interfacing up because I want to get that figurine. That cool figurine. Let's get our interfacing up. Master mechanics, picks, locks, and pockets. I mean, our hands aren't steady, but unless we, partake in, drugs. Alright, let's go get some sleep. The first day is finally just about over. Knock knock. Is this girl want to talk?
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside, a tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
Beauty, don't abandon me in all this ugliness. She can't hear me, so I'm just gonna say it.
The door does not care.
Yeah, it'd be creepy to keep going. I'm guessing that's gonna be Kim's room.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation
Ah, he's got a smoke too.
first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
Sure does. A cigarette is such a great idea. I think I'm gonna have one too. How'd you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
He flicks the ash.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
A cigarette is such a great idea. I'll have one too.
You're cold, detective. Again, I only have exactly one every night.
I can't take it. Alright, right then. The debrief.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
We performed a cursory initial inspection of the victim's body. Then you shot the body down, which was quite the shot.
Damn straight. I'm a sharpshooting cop. It was nothing, really. I was just doing my job. I was inspired by your confidence in me, Kim. I just can't wait to shoot more shit. I think I was born with a gun in my hand. It was nothing, really. Just doing my job.
It enabled us to perform a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. Moreover, you found that the hanged man wasn't just hanged, he was also shot. That was some excellent detective work. And you managed to locate and pull out the bullet, so we can get ballistics, make off the gun. All this is invaluable.
It was the least I could do, given all my past mistakes.
The rest is up to the boys in processing. Maybe they will surprise us by doing their job for once, but I wouldn't count on it. There's still work to be done at the crime scene, however. We mustn't forget that. Now for the interviews.
He takes a deep drag and looks at the city. That's my forte. Unlike most cops, I understand how important communication is in this line of work. The initial interviews? Yes, well, we talked to some people. I wish we didn't have to do any of the interviews. People are treacherous. Yeah, people are treacherous.
One doesn't need to like the people one is interviewing. Indeed, it's better if you don't. We weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really must do that tomorrow. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
I don't like to waste time, you know? My mind moves fast. The rest has to try to keep up. I'm training for a long-distance run. I want to raise money for charity. Yeah, it's just how we roll in Precinct 41. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I don't know why I do the things I do.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on a cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly.
Thank you for the compliment. We could manage it even in wooden clogs. There are uncanny running reservoirs in this body. God knows why.
So what are our powers exactly? The RCM.
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Rebachol.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
What else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
How can you be sure the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
When power calls you, you come. But power itself is a fragile trick of perception.
And if someone resists?
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty?
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kem?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
He pauses.
He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. A self-contained past event. There is a slight physical revulsion in him while saying that. But he's worked through it in the intervening years.
Have I killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
Of course you've killed people. It's somewhere down there, melting in all the drink.
I probably have.
Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence.
Oh boy.
He's not judging you. He's respectfully acknowledging the difficulty of working in your precinct.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
And who makes all these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Rebachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Let's say it was the citizens.
Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
The moral intern. What's that?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
There are a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something ominous. Something even a little feminine. But in a strict manner. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why.
Interesting. What do you think of them?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
I have an opinion on them.
Do you?
The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim, white thing in his fingers. Things are bad out there, points to the city. We need them here, giving us the right to police Ravachol. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen this place? This isn't humanism. We are stooges of the world's biggest, bourgeois organization, protecting bourgeois rights. Mutter silently. Immigrants, liberal kips, fucking. Men aren't turning into women. Men are turning into women, okay. Oh, hey. On second thought, I don't have an opinion. Forget about it. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen the place? This isn't humanism.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Yeah, vigilantes sound bad. Actually, vigilantes is okay with me. Maybe we should make our own law. Maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
He looks at the roundabout.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over.
Say nothing. Just look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
He pulls on the cigarette. Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts.
And in Jamrock? And the GRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
Yep, our investigation will help improve the situation here. And at least do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Okay. End. Alright. Well, I think that's where we're going to end this episode. We'll start off the next episode with going to sleep and seeing what that entails. I imagine we're going to have like some sort of crazy dream. This is what I'm guessing is going to happen. It seems like what would happen. But that's going to be it for this episode. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.